thank you so much for having me here. I know I'm the guy who standing behind you, between you and lunch. Okay, so I will be very quick. So Live AI is actually is a L1 change built for handle petabytes of data on Avalanche. We actually in the business for like 7 years, serving more than 100,000 of users, processing more than 15 petabytes of data, and have our personalized application generate more than $5 million in the past 5 years. So the main problem we are looking right now is the modern healthcare is moving toward personalization. So everything will be very much personalized to you. But most of the time, the data, like the genomic data, which basically power personalized solution, actually owned by, let's say, a monopoly centralized institution. And all of that centralized institution, they cannot unlock the power of that data. The main reason why is that because it has limited access. It's really hard to get into that silo data. Another reason is it's a central point of attack. Of course, you probably heard about the attack against 23andMe in the last 1 year. A 7 million genetic profile got stolen and sold on the black market. Okay, and of course, when it's controlled by a monopoly business, then basically it can like increase the price of the drug and many other things. Okay, of course, the solution is to decentralize this. And for that, we actually built a L1 change to support the decentralization of the big data ownership. With that, we have a better security. We have a global access to the data. And the most important thing is alignment of value, where the value of the data owner, the benefit to the data owner is actually shared amongst all of them. So we've been there for almost 7 years. We went through the bull market of 2021 without actually telling people that we are powered by blockchain technology. We have more than 35 different applications building on top of Live AI. We're already serving more than 100,000 users. The application on top of the platform generate more than $5 million in revenue. We have more than 100 corporate partners. So I can show you. Here is an example of an application building on top of Live AI. Okay, so it's like the 23andMe for Asian. Yeah, and then basically everyone who takes this genetic test will receive a gene NFT. Okay, to prove that they are the true owner of the data. All of the data processing is private. All of the access to the data needs approval from the data owner, the true data owner. Data is always encrypted, and the user hold the key. So basically, the user are the true owner of the data. And we build that on at an L1 change on Avalanche, and everything running under a trusted execution environment. And on the architecture side, Live AI, the Live protocol run on the three main components. The Dominium is basically the data ownership framework, where it actually holds the gene NFT, the true owner of the data. And then it has a data management framework, so that every access to the data needs approval from the data user. Okay, so you basically control how other people access your data. And then the share benefit framework to make sure that, okay, everything access the data, pay for the data, the true owner will get a fair share of that. And in much more detail, that is actually run at the permissions network in the trusted execution environments. And then everything is controlled by the permissionless network, when people can actually participate and vote for the change of the architecture of the system. So one of the main applications right now running on top of Live AI is, let's say, a main selling point of the Live AI platform right now is, hey, come here and build the application on top of Live AI. We can actually help you to reduce the cost to launch an application like 10x, 100x, 200x faster. Okay, basically the AI model is commodity. Okay, you pick the AI model, you bring into our platform, you train on our curated data. Okay, the petabytes of data is already curated, trainable for you, and then you can deploy the product, the trained model, you develop the product, and then deploy the product on the Live AI marketplace. And this is one of the showcase. We show that, okay, Live AI actually have one of the largest pharmaceutical company in Southeast Asia to create a personalized stroke prevention. The whole process cut down the cost like 10x to 30x instead of like spending millions of dollars to create a personalized stroke application. They can build the stroke prevention scheme on top of Live AI with like less than 100,000 US dollar. Another example I would like to show it over here is, for example, like Live AI, like unlike a lot of other Web3 projects, we work very closely with, let's say, government's effort. So Live AI actually work with the Vietnamese government to provide a nationwide cancer prevention. So basically, they can run an AI clustering algorithm on top of like hundreds or tens of thousands of people in Vietnam to identify the high risk of profile so that they can identify the variant associated with cancer, so that the government can put a lot of like personalized, more precise prevention scheme to reduce the risk of cancer for people in Vietnam. So that is a couple of examples to show you that, okay, how people can build application on top of Live AI, and we have to cut down the cost like 10x to 30x, and we have to cut down the time to bring an application to market like almost like 100 times. Okay, so I will make it very quick so that you guys can go for lunch. And thank you so much. And if you have any question, happy to answer it right now.
All right. Do we have any questions? Well, 2 questions.
Thank you. Incredibly interesting. I was curious that with some of the use cases you described, I imagine, say for the the Vietnamese case, is the information that's available include the location of the person, or what is available besides the genetic information?
So basically, the genetic information is at the core information. We actually provide what we call a genetic profile. Sometimes it also includes the medical history, the drug response, also the family, or let's say the family history of, let's say, for example, in this cancer, we actually can track like 3 generations in the family who have cancer or the relative having cancer. So a lot of other information we actually help the people to collect or enrich the genetic profile. Yeah.
As a user, can I choose what I allow to be used?
That is correct. So basically, we have like 3 tiers of information. It depends on the sensitivity of the data. So for example, someone doesn't want to reveal that I actually carry a pathogenic variant of having cancer. They don't want, like, for example, like someone know that they actually carry the inborn risk of having cancer. So some information very sensitive, they can actually, like, we have a level of sensitivity. So people can put the data, they can label the data on this, and then when someone try to get access, they can ask the people about the level of sensitivity, and then the user will actually, based on the level, to allow people to get access. But the cool point is, because sometimes it's just the mentality problem, okay, the perception. Because all of the data is actually stored and run inside the trusted execution environments. Even like the what we call the data utilizer, they want to access the data, they cannot actually get the raw data. Okay, they actually bring the code within the trusted execution environment and train the AI model. So basically, the output they get is a trained model, not a raw data. However, a lot of users asking the question because the perceptions, a lot of them are non-technical. They just basically so scared that if my employer know that I carry something, if my family member know that I carry an inborn disease, and so we provide a lot of mechanism for people to control their data because they are the true owner of the data. Yeah.
Great.
Hi, thank you for the talk. Really impressive work. I was wondering whether there's room to bring in different kinds of data, so not just genomic, transcriptomic, and stuff like that.
Yes, so that's why I say genomic is just the core of the information because it's actually say like proof of identity. We do so metadata, the health data, is just the multi-omnic data we actually let the user to provide to enrich their genetic profile so that it have a higher chance to, let's say, get the data utilized or monetize the data. Yeah. Actually, I can give you one of the examples. So 6 months ago, we published the largest genetic study for autism in Southeast Asia. Okay, so basically, when we started, we only focused on the genetic information. But when we announced that, okay, we are going to run the genetic study for autism, a lot of people volunteer. And then they also provide a lot of other information, the omics data. And then we actually, beside the genetic study on autism, we have a lot of other data to show that, okay, how to personalize the intervention of autism, like rather than like ADHD or Down syndrome. Yeah, so all of that information is just basically the layer of data on top of the genetic data. Yeah.
Great. Do we have any final questions? All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Tuan Cao. This was the last session of the day here at the Blanco Stage. Hope you enjoyed, and see you. The show continues downstairs.